I'm Cassandra, Diva of Dialog Lee, and I'm here to share with you divine inspiration vocally applied on a time management technique that I've been using throughout my professional development. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Akron, Ohio, speaking before a group of administrative professionals. With that group, of course, we talked about time management skills and how one could become more productive with their time management in their workplace. Something that I shared with them struck a chord that made them realize, hey, time management could be made even easier if I did this particular technique. The technique that I shared with them was a personal technique, one that I included along with the to-do list and the 80-20 rule, yet something that was very personal for me. I would like to share that tip with you right now, which is what I call provide every day of the week with its own philosophy. Yeah, simple as that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All of those days of the week should have their own time management philosophy. Here's what I mean by that. Mondays, for instance, for me, was the day that I called Make It Happen Mondays. Make it happen because Monday was the day that was coming off of the weekend. So the majority of the time, I didn't feel like doing a whole lot of work on a Monday. Monday was somewhat blah. But because it was the work day, I still had to be productive. So relying upon the to-do list and the 80-20 rule, I focused on what the most important tasks were for that day, making sure that I could get those tasks done at the moments of time when my energy was the highest. That way I could be productive as I began to fizzle out in the rest of the day. Make It Happen Mondays forced me to get at least 2 or 3 most important tasks done in the day. Tuesdays, on the other hand, were a totally different story because Tuesdays were Tackle It Tuesdays. Tackle It Tuesdays. That meant let's rev it up. Let's get it going. Because Tuesdays were the day that really heightened the productivity. Of course, the to-do list was utilized as well as the 80-20 rule too. However, Tackle It Tuesdays, my mind was at a higher level of productivity. My energy was at a higher level of creativity. So I was able to do more, get more accomplished. And also the philosophy was tackle it. And because it was tackle it, it forced me to be in that revved up state to get more than just the few tasks accomplished. Still focusing in on the most important task, but making sure that Tuesday had a tackle it component to it where more than just 2 or 3 or 4 of the most important tasks were being accomplished, but more than that. Speaking of getting more accomplished than just the 4 most important tasks in a workday, Wednesdays came along and were work it out. Wednesdays for me, again, were work it out Wednesdays. Work it out. Let's get it moving. Let's make sure we can get things done beyond the hump day. You know, that's what some people call Wednesdays, hump day. I called Wednesdays work it out Wednesdays. Work it out basically meant that creativity was higher, energy was higher, mindset was much more focused on what needs to be done in that work day as well as the work week. You know, Wednesdays were the day that was in the middle of the week that was leading toward the weekend. So that meant whatever didn't get accomplished on Monday or whatever may not have gotten accomplished on Tuesday, we need to work it out and make it happen on Wednesday. So work it out Wednesday gave me an even heightened level or an even more heightened sense of productivity for my work week. Mondays would make it happen and Tuesdays would tackle it. Wednesdays would work it out, which meant that Thursdays had to be thorough Thursdays for me. In my mind, forefront as well as in the back of it, I needed to make certain that whatever was on my desk, whatever was on the to-do list, whatever was pending, that it got accomplished. Because Thursdays were the days that the to-do list as well as the productivity list had to have a major dent in it. Thorough Thursdays. I always made certain I took a look at the beginning of the week to see what did not get accomplished or what was still pending, because I wanted to make certain that I could wrap things up. Wednesdays will work it out, yet Thursdays were thorough. Let's get things done. Let's get things closed out. Let's make certain that we can also begin to move into our Friday, because Fridays were Freedom Fridays. Freedom Fridays, which meant work week is winding down. Not only was the work week winding down, but the energy, the productivity, the creativity was winding down because it was the end of the week. So Freedom Fridays made me make certain that before I left the work week, before I left the office for the weekend, that I tackled whatever needed to be done, because I wanted to have the freedom to enjoy my weekend without the guilt that something was still pending on my desk. So Freedom Fridays were the days that gave me an opportunity to get anything that was straggling along in that week closed out, anything that was open, make certain that it was no longer pending, get everything smooth over, as well as get the list for the next week set up. So that way I would know exactly what I was focusing in on Monday, what was coming up for the following week, and what had been accomplished for the current week. So give every day of the week its own philosophy was my personal time management technique that worked well for me when I was working as an administrative professional, and also as I'm working as a full-time entrepreneur. Even more now, as a full-time entrepreneur, one of the things that I find is that giving Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday its own time management philosophy helps me not to spend so much time working in the work week. And like I said, make it happen Monday, tackle it Tuesday, work it out Wednesday, thorough Thursdays, and Freedom Fridays. Those were the time management philosophies that I gave to each day of the week. Those philosophies, coupled with the time management to-do list, as well as the 80-20 rule, all helped me to be much more productive in my work week as an employee, as well as now as a full-time entrepreneur. As I said before, I shared my personal philosophy for time management with the days of the week having their own philosophy with a group of administrative professionals in Akron, Ohio. They found the information to be beneficial, and I figured you might as well. So I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to share this information with you today, and I hope that you too find it beneficial for your professional development as well as your personal empowerment. Again, I'm Cassandra, D.I.V.A of Dialog Lee, and I was glad that I was able to share divine inspiration vocally applied with you today on a time management technique that allowed me to be and will allow you to be productive in your professional pursuits. Take care.